Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to solve day 27 problem of this month on LeetCode. Before starting, if you guys haven't subscribed my YouTube channel yet, then please go ahead and subscribe it. Now without any delay, let's get started with today's problem. Problem number 2014, longest subsequence repeated k times. So let's read the problem statement first. You are given a string s of length n and an integer k. You are tasked to find the longest subsequence repeated k times in string S. A subsequence is a string that can be derived from another string by deleting some or no characters without changing the order of the remaining characters. Okay. A subsequence is repeated k times in the string S if subsequence into k, okay, is a subsequence of S where subsequence into k represents a string constructed by concatenating the subsequence k times. Okay, all right. For example, BBA is repeated two times in the string, right here, BBA and BBA, because the string BBA constructed by concatenating this substring, okay, this subsequence BBA two times is a subsequence of the string this one. Okay, so you already know this BBA and here BBA. Okay, we have to return the longest subsequence repeated k times in a string S. Okay, if multiple such subsequences are found, then we have to return the lexicographically largest one. Okay, lexicographically means dictionary order. So in dictionary, first you see the words starting from A, then in the end you will see the words which are starting from Z. Okay, so we have to return the lexicographically largest one. If there is no such subsequence, we have to return an empty string. Okay, so let's understand this problem statement in more detail with some examples. All right, so this is your example number one. This is string given to us, s, and k value given to us, right? Okay, so in this string, if you see this word let, okay, so this let and this le and t, okay, if you see these two words, okay, this particular subsequence let and let, okay, so this is appearing two times. Okay, this is appearing two times. All right, this is what we need to do, right? You are tasked to find the longest subsequence repeated k times in a string S. So it is repeating k times, two times, right? And this is also the lexicographically largest one. Okay. What are the other subsequence you are able to see here? So you may see this maybe L T E. Okay, that is also not possible, right? So if I choose this L T and E, okay, so this LTE, all right, and after that here I can also choose this now L T and E. Okay, that is also possible, but I think if we choose that, then it is going to say that there are two longest subsequences repeated two times, let and et. Okay, so this problem is not considering this lte. Reason is because this l is coming before, right? Next time if I choose l, so this is coming before this. Okay, so if I'm choosing lt in this particular range, then next time lt I should consider in this range only. So that is the reason. Okay, so that is why it is not considering that. Okay, so if you consider this example ete, okay, if you take this ete, okay, so until here we find one. Okay, then next time we can start from here ete. Okay, so this is also possible ete. So among them, the lexicographically largest one is let. Okay, so I hope that you guys are clear why we are not considering this LT and E. Okay, so if you see this explanation, there are two longest subsequences repeated two times, LET and ETE. Let is the lexicographically largest one. Okay, all right. Okay, So here also, if you see BBA, if we are choosing until here only, then next time BBA in the next part. Okay, so I hope that this part is clear. Okay, and you can try forming many subsequences. Okay, among them we have to just return the lexicographically largest one. All right, so here if you see in this particular example, if you observe this thing, this is appearing two times, right? Let and ete. Okay, so among these two, if you see, if I consider these two, so frequency of L is equal to K. Okay, here, right? Here EE. Okay, E frequency is equal to K here. T frequency, T is also two times, right? If this is available two times, then it is equal to K. Okay, and there may be case, maybe L appears more than K times. Okay, so I can say that in order to form the longest subsequence which is going to repeat k times, I need the frequency of characters should be greater than equal to k. Okay, greater than equal to k, right? This is what I need. Okay, the frequency of characters, it should be greater than equal to k. In that case only I can form the k subsequences, right? So here if you see this example number one, so L is appearing how many times? 1, 2, 2 times. Okay, E is appearing how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4 times. T is appearing how many times? 1, 2. Okay, and all other characters, if you notice, they are appearing just one time. S is appearing one time, C is appearing just one time, and O is also appearing one time, and D is also appearing one time. Okay, so here definitely if I want to form a k subsequence, okay, the two longest subsequence which are repeated two times, okay, at here two times k times. So if I'm using O in one place, definitely I can't use O in other, right? So I have to ignore all these characters. Okay, so this is my first observation from this particular example. Okay, so first what I'm going to do, I'm going to calculate the frequency of all the characters in my string. Okay, so frequency are like this: L, E, T, D, S, C, O, and I am going to ignore the all those characters whose frequency is less than k value. Okay, so this is my first step. All right, so now in this example number one, I am left with just L, E and T. Okay, only these characters, or you can just change them to string if you want. Okay, so whatever my output, definitely that is going to start from any one of these words. It may be start from L, it may be start from E, it may be start from T. Okay, now since what we need the lexicographically largest one. Okay, so I can do one thing, I can write these characters uh, like this. Okay, so in the end, if you see in the dictionary, okay, or in your alphabet series, T is going to appear in the end, then L, okay, opposite order, okay, and then E. Okay, right? Here if you see the constraints, S consists of lowercase English letters. Okay, so that means we have characters from A to Z only. So I'm just iterating from Z to A, and I'm just taking all those characters whose frequency is greater than equal to K. So we have just T, L and E. Okay, so that means that whatever the longest subsequence that I'm going to form, that subsequence is going to start from T, or it may start from L, or it may start from E. Okay, this is what we know as of now. All right, okay, clear. So now I'm left with T, okay, L and E. All right, okay, this is done. Now from here I can do one thing, I can start forming bigger bigger words. Okay, so here if I start from this T, okay, just right now we have this T, L and E only. Okay, so having length just one. Okay, all these strings are having just length 1. Okay, right? So now if I just remove this T, okay, and starting from this T, if I form words, okay, so in this T I can add this T. Okay, this is one of the option that I have. or I can, in this T I can just add this L. Okay, I can join this T with L. This is one option I have. Or in this T I can join E. Okay, this is one option I have, right? Okay, so TT, TL and TE, these are the options I have. Okay, I'm just trying to form different combinations starting from, okay, and I know that only these characters I can use, okay, to form the longest valid subsequence. All right, so I'm just trying to merge them. Okay, T with the T first, T with L, then T with E. Okay, just I pop this and this. Okay, so here what I'm thinking of doing, I'm trying to do BFS. Okay, right, so I'm going to use Q here, right? So what I'm going to do in the Q, right, I'm just going to add all these candidates T, L and E. Then I'm going to create one variable string answer. Okay, and I'm going to set it to empty, right? And I'm just going to run simple level order traversal. Okay, so while my queue is not empty, all that stuff. Okay, I'm going to poll this element, and then I'm going to check if my current length, okay, current dot length, right, is greater than my answer dot length. So current dot length is nothing but I just poll this element. Okay, so that is one. Okay, this just poll this element. Okay, so this is my current dot length is one. Okay, and my answer length is just 0 initially, right? So that's simply means what I'm going to do, I'm going to update my answer as cur. Okay, answer as T right now. Okay, done. What I'm doing, my queue, in my queue I'm going to add all these strings. Okay, I'm repeating one more time, I'm adding all these strings. Then after that I'm creating one variable answer and I'm keeping it empty initially, right? Now after that I'm just polling this. Okay, and after polling I'm just placing this particular value here. Okay, and I'm placing it here only when my current dot length, okay, that the element that I polled is greater than answer. So this length is 1, initial answer value is 0, so yes, 1 is greater than 0. In that case I am updating my answer. Now from this T I am just going to generate the other next candidate strings. Okay, from this T. So what are the different possibilities? So we have different possibilities, like we can use TT, we can use TL. Okay, and we can use this T. Okay, now I have to check here one more thing, how many times this TT appears in my string. Okay, how many times this TL appears in my string, how many times this TE appears in my string. Okay, so if you notice here, TT, T and T, okay, TT appearing just one time. All right, so I'm not going to consider this. Okay, so this should be appearing at least 2 times. Okay, so in this queue I'm only adding those which are appearing k times. Okay, right? So TT is not appearing k times. Ignore this. TL, okay. T and L, T, that's it. Okay. L, yeah, that's it. It is also not appearing. Okay. TL I have to ignore. Okay. So if I pick this T first and then L, then next time T, L is not there. Okay. Ignore this. TE, T, E, nice. T and E. Okay. TE appearing 2 times. Okay. It is appearing k times, 2 times. All right. So I am good. Okay, so what I'm going to do after this, I'm just going to add this, okay, in my queue, right? So now my queue is going to look like this: L, E and T, E. Done. This is done. Okay, L, E and T, E. Now next time we have to do the same process for this one. Okay, so now here again, what you need to do, your queue is not empty as of now, so you're just going to poll this L. Okay, just poll this, your current is going to be this L. Okay, so now here current dot length is greater than answer dot length. Right now it's 1 and this is also 1, so no need to update your answer. Okay, let it be T. Okay, so in this answer we have to just return the longest, uh, your lexicographically largest one. Okay, so if T is here, okay, then why I need to place L here in the my final answer? Okay, because T is lexicographically larger than L. Okay, and that is why we have written this in this order. Okay, Z to A. Okay, so I hope that you guys are clear now why we are writing it like this. Okay, so T is there already, of length 1 we have T. Okay, so now why I need to change to L? Okay, so that's why I'm not going to update it, but from L I need to check the words which are possible. So possibilities like this: LL, LE and LT. Okay, So L, let's see if it is appearing k times. Okay, L and L, no, okay, it is not appearing. Nice. LE, okay, so LE, let's see. LE, okay, LE, right. So LE is appearing 2 times. So just add it, okay. So as soon as it appears k times, just mark it true, okay. Not like more than k times, then we don't, okay, that's not the case. All right, LT, 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 okay, nice. So mark it true. All right. So both are appearing. So now my updated, this queue is going to look like this. E, T, E, then then this LE, and then this LT. Okay. All right. These are nothing but strings. Done. Okay. Now this is my queue. All right. Now again you have to just check this. Okay, poll this length is still equal to this length, no need to update. So with E, what are the possibilities? So with E you have possibilities like, okay, so here one more thing we can check na. So here with this L, right, so we are just moving over the candidates that we have. Okay, we are just moving over the candidates. So yeah, that's it. Okay, that's the only possibility. All right, so here for E, again, what are the candidates we have? Okay, so candidates that you have only these candidates na, TLE. Okay, so ET, right? Okay, and here EL and EE. Okay, so here actually what we can do here, I'm writing LE LT na. So LT is going to come first na, so I can change that. Okay, LT, let's write it first, right, and then here L and this E. Okay, so we have to maintain this order na, TLE. Okay, so that's why I'm writing it LTE. Okay, so just you can change the order. Okay, so here for E, we have ET, EL, and EE. Okay, so you have to check now ET is appearing 2 times or not. Okay, so here ET, ET, okay, and EL, EL is not appearing. Okay, EE, EE is appearing. Okay, so among them, if you see, ET is appearing 2 times, EL is not appearing, and E is appearing. Okay, so just add all this here, right? So now we have this TE, TE, then we have LT, and then we have LE. Okay, then we have ET, and then we have EE. Okay, so this is what we have finally, right? This is what we're left with. Okay, so TE, LT, LE, and ET and EE. Okay, so this is your new queue. Okay, so now with this T you need to check. So first of all, this, so this size is 2. Okay, so now that simply means that you have to update your answer with the TE. Okay, right, right. So now with TE, you can form TET, TEL, and TEE. So now you have to just check out the frequencies. Okay, TET is appearing 2 times, no, TEL, no, TEE, no. Okay, so none of them are appearing 2 times, so ignore. Okay, now next time let's check this LT. So LT length is 2, same as TE, so we have to take TE only, right, for 2 length, right, because we need to take lexicographical larger one. Okay, so LT, with LT you have possibilities LTL, LTT first, then LTL, then LTE. Okay, so let's check all this. LTT, LTT, okay, not possible. LTL, not possible. LTE, and that is also not possible. Okay, none of them are possible, so ignore all this. Okay, so now this is done. Now if you see this LET, okay, with LE, no need to update because T is greater than LE. Okay, for size 2. Now with LE, LET is one possibility, LEL is one possibility, LEE is one possibility. Okay, so now LET, if you see, you will find your answer. LET is there. Okay, so true. So if it is true, LEL, LEL is not there. LEE is also not there. Okay, so not possible. So among them, only this is possible. So just add this here, LET. Okay. Now this is what you add here, and now you have to check the possibilities with ET. Okay, so with ET, here length is of let is 3, it's 2. Okay, so with ET we check ETT, okay. So all these things you have to check. So here if you see your et is there, et is there, okay. Others like ett are not there, etl is not there, okay. So only et is there, all right. So et is only there, so just add this here in your queue, et, okay. Now same way for e you have to check. So with at l and okay. So e t not there, okay. L are not there, e not there, okay. So none of them possible, right? So in the end with let, now you have to check four keywords, okay. let okay. That you also not find, okay. With you have to check other few words like okay. That you also not find. So in the end your answer was nothing but this let, okay. That you see the first one with the length 3, okay. Let was possible, okay. So that was your answer. So very simple code, nothing complex, okay. But I hope that you guys are clear. Very simple, okay. So now let's write the code for this, right? Okay, whatever I explained, okay, I'm going to write the same thing, nothing complex. All right. So here first you have to create a one frequency array, since we already know that we containing only lowercase English letters, okay. So here I'm just going to write new int and 26 here. All right, this is done, okay. Now after that you have to just iterate over all the characters ch in s2 char array, okay. And here after that, here you can simply write frequency ch minus a, okay. And here plus plus outside this, okay. So we are just going to increment the frequencies, then just create one array list for candidates, okay. What are the candidates we have? So list of character, and here we have take candidate is equal to new array list, okay. So now we have to become a little bit greedy here. So what I'm going to do, I is equal to, I'm going to start from opposite, I is 25 and I is greater than equal to 0 and I plus plus I minus minus, okay. And here instead of taking all the characters, okay, I'm just going to take those whose frequency, okay, frequency of I value is greater than equal to the k value, okay. I will only take this, okay, because they will help me in forming the best subsequence, okay. And then in the candidate I'm just going to add this, okay. Candidate dot add, what I'm adding character, okay. And how I'm going to change this to a character, okay. So a, in this a just add one your I value, okay. So that's it, right? So we are going to get that particular character, okay. Now this is done. Now you have to take one queue, okay, to implement the BFS. So queue string, and here you can say simple queue and new linked list, okay. Done. Then after that just iterate over all the candidates that you have, candidate, okay. And just pass all these values in your queue, okay. So queue dot add as a string you can pass, okay. String dot value of the character, okay. This is done, okay. So very simple process, right? And now take one variable answer, okay, in which you are going to store the answer, string ans, and here empty, okay. Now what you need to do here, while you have to just simply run BFS while your queue is not empty, okay. Until then you have to just execute, okay. Queue is not empty, right? Okay. So here if you see, finally your queue becomes empty here when we process everything, okay. So in the end we update with first word of length 3, okay, let, that is our output, right? So here string, first you have to take the cur element, which is nothing but pulling from the queue, okay. So now here just check the length of this, okay, the first word, okay. So if this length cur dot length length, okay, if this length is greater than the existing answer length. Okay, so initially it is 0 only, so we have to update this as our answer. Okay, first time the first character with greater length. Okay, the first string cur with greater length, that we have to update in my answer. Okay, cur, done. Okay, this is done. Now we have to generate the next candidate string. Okay, so for character ch in candidate, okay, using for each loop, so you can simply do that. So next, what we can form, string next is equal to whatever the current character that we have. In that, I'm just going to add the next ch. Okay, so like if first we are taking t, so in t what I can append, I can append tt, tl and te. Okay, I can form this as my next. Okay, tle only I can append to my current. Okay, so here I'm just going to check if is k repeated subsequence. Okay, only then I have to add this in my queue. Okay, so here I'm just going to call one method is k repeated subsequence. All right, and here I'm just going to pass s, all right, my string, and here my next. Okay, which I'm going to search, and k. Okay, k times, right? And here if this is true, then only I'm going to add this next in my queue. That's it. Okay, and once my while loop ends, okay, so here this ends. Okay, this while loop ends here, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm simply going to return answer from here. That's it. Okay, done. Now let's write this method. Okay, very simple code, nothing complex. This is also very simple. Okay, so here what we need to do, just first define this. So boolean private boolean and is k repeated subsequence, and here just pass the string s. Okay, and this is nothing but your string, you can say t. Okay, and here you can just pass int k. Okay, target string that you are going to search k times. Okay, so first time here set position is equal to 0. Okay, matched, how many times it matched. Okay, so if it is equal to 0, okay, initially it is 0, right? And here matched equal to 0, and here take the length. Okay, int m is equal to t dot length. All right, so this t is nothing but the length of this next that I'm passing. Okay, t t t l t e. Okay, the length of those. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to iterate over all the characters in my char array. Okay, a string. Okay, in my string, just change it to char array, to char array. All right, and here inside this I'm going to check if the character is matching with the new string. Okay, that I'm going to check my target string. Okay, so t dot char at position. Okay, so if it is matching with this, okay, then we are good. Just go to the next position in your target. Okay, the next string. Okay, target. All right, so now if you see all the elements, okay, if you see all the elements very first time, okay, so I can say that if your pose, okay, if this pose value it becomes equal to the length of this m. Okay, m is nothing but the length of this string t target. Okay, so if for very first time we have seen all the characters, then what we need to do, then in that case, one second, then in that case what we need to do, we have to update our pose value. Okay, here it should be 0 now in the starting. Okay, so here again I'm going to update the index to again 0, right? Pose 0, right? So here I'm searching for, let's suppose tt. Okay, so first I check this, first I check this. Okay, it completely matched one time. Okay, then I have to find it k times now, then again I have to start from here, right? Then this, right? So that is why I'm setting it pose to 0. Okay, and then here also we have a matched it one time now, so I'm just going to increment this match to 1 plus plus, right? And as soon as my matched value, okay, if matched becomes equal to k, okay, then no need to check further, just simply return true that it is available k times, right? Return true. Okay, it's very simple. Otherwise, if we don't able to execute this return statement, then in the end, this is where your this ends. Okay, here you can simply return false. All right, that's it. Okay, that's it. Only 49 lines of code. Okay, now let's run the code and see if that code issue will try to fix that. So see, all the test cases has been accepted, right? Nice. So now let's submit it. So see, our solution is accepted, right? So I hope that you guys are able to understand today's problem. And if you guys still have any doubts, then please feel free to ask in comment section. Till then, keep coding and keep practicing. Meet you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.